Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy holidays, happy New Year. It's been a little while. We took a little break, but we're back. Got my man Mark Gray with me once again, and welcome to another episode of Jay's Gimme 5 show. Coming up on the show, we got some great stuff out there for you. We're going to give it up to Shaw University, our HBCU School of the Week.
Willie Gary in the house. You know?
And Mark, I know you got something to say. What's coming up in Straight No Chase?
Man, look, I waited all weekend for the last two doubleheader weekends of meaningful tackle football, and they were overtime games that decided the Super Bowl, but you get officials getting in the way. Why are we talking about dudes in striped shirts carrying whistles when you got great players playing big in the biggest show?
That's what happens. And we'll also, how about this? You know, I was a former athlete. I'm going to give you the jobs that I think are the best jobs in professional sports in all of America in my Gimme 5 segment. Be an interesting take on that one there. And then we're going to ask you all to continue to give us your Gimme 5 photo of the week. Hit us up on all of our social media circles. And Mark, I'm going to let you take it because you got the Gimme 5 photo of the week.
Absolutely. Now look, folks, every once in a while, there's a bucket list moment in your life. And at the Hip Hop Museum's launch in D.C., I caught up with DJ Melly Mel. Now, millennials, you definitely want to check out this hip hop icon. This guy was the DJ for Rapper's Delight 40 years ago. It changed the landscape of music, gave us a whole new culture.
I'll give it up. That's a good Gimme 5. So, hey, photo of the week, hey, we want to know where you are. You could be at a sporting event. You could be at a hip-hop event. Any place you think that qualifies for our photo of the week, send it to us, and we'll give you a shout-out. That being said, it's time for this week's Jay's Gimme 5. This week's topic, work with me, folks. I'm going to give you the best jobs in all of professional sports. Now, let me start off by telling you the qualification. It's not judged just by wins and losses. That's part of the equation, but quality of life, fan base, things of that nature. So with that being said, let's give this a shot. Number 5, being a Celtic in Boston. Oh yeah, I played for the Patriots, and truly, Larry Legend, Bill Russell, all those guys, they ran that town. Number 4, I think being a professional golfer. Think about it. You're chasing warm weather all over the country, you're hitting a golf ball around there, you're getting paid, and you got a really good quality of life with all those private jets and everything else. Oh yeah, every athlete wishes they could be Tiger Woods. Number 3, how about a Laker in LA? Magic made it very popular. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and knowing the West Coast flavor out there, there's no better job in the NBA, I believe, than being a Laker wearing the purple and gold. Number 2, gotta give it up, the Dallas Cowboys. Being a Cowboy in Dallas is legendary. Talking about the guys like Tony Dorsett, Troy Aikman, all those guys, and Roger Staubach, they laid the foundation to being America's team. And when you go down there, quite frankly, the Cowboys, they run that town. And the number 1 job in all of pro sports has to be being a Yankee for the New York Yankees. Oh man, I don't know one athlete in the world that doesn't wish at some point in time they were Derek Jeter. Oh yeah, the Yankee is the biggest brand in all of sports, and there's no better job than being a Yankee in New York. On the bubble, not quite making the list, hail to the Washington football team. They run the DC area or the whole DMV for all that purposes. That's my list of the top 5 jobs in all of professional sports. Want to talk about it? Hit us up on all of our social media platforms.
I got to give it to you. You came back after the respite and was on your A game, but you did miss out on a couple of key thoughts. Like, of course, you can't, it's never bad to be a Dodger in Los Angeles.
That is true.
Never.
That is true, but I believe that they came from, New York, and then you had that
no.
Coach guy. But Magic Johnson made L.A. Lakerland.
Well, it's true, but
right.
I was going to say that, or at least to be like the manager of the Laker cheerleaders, but that's a topic for another podcast. Anyway, what about being a Red Sox in Boston right now?
Thought about it. That was the toughest one there. I thought about that, but
can't be bad to be Mookie Betts, y'all.
Yeah, I played for the Patriots, and the Red Sox in Boston now is vogue. But for years, when they weren't winning those World Series, when they had the longest drought, it was Larry Legend's town, and Bill Russell's town. So I'm still going with a Celtic in Boston. I mean, when they're good, from Paul Pierce, Garnett on, when those guys are good, the whole city loves them.
Yeah, man, but I mean, there was just something about the presence of Yastrzemski. You know,
He didn't win. He didn't win. Come on, man.
Yeah, but they still were the guys.
Yeah, you got to
it's a
win.
baseball town.
Yeah, they had the long drought. So
Or
now,
Bobby Orr.
Now it's
Bruins,
becoming,
too.
yeah, but I
I
don't
lived
talk
in New
about
England,
that
too.
spot.
I know a little bit about
Yeah, can't do it.
Anyway, enough of that debate, bro. I got to give it to you straight, no chaser. And this week, we got to open up the can on the National Football League and their officiating. You know, I was thinking about this during the course of the conference championship weekend when Marv Levy had that NFL films moment, you know, over officious jerks. Well, we've been seeing officiating that's over officious all year, and you get to money time and you got to make a call. And if you're New Orleans, ain't no dancing in the street during Mardi Gras this year. I'm heated.
It was definitely a bad call, but there's a bigger problem going on in the NFL. And I think New York, and I'm talking Roger Goodell's office, they have to take a little bit of blame for this because officials now started out all season, we don't know what a catch is. Then it became, oh, you're not allowed to touch the quarterback at all. Roughing the passer, so judgmental. They can't overturn stuff like that. Until they stop and determine you're going to have human error in the game, but you can't have the humans afraid to make calls because the eye in the sky don't lie, but they're overturning all these calls. So I don't know what a catch is. I didn't think one of those catches was a catch, and I don't know, as a commentator, they say you have to be 100% sure that you can overturn a call on the field. Did Edelman grab that scoop football? I didn't see a video that said he absolutely didn't. So I just think there's confusion with the officials in New York trying to run the game from not there on site is giving them trouble.
All right, I'll give credit for those two ambiguous calls. But when you get right down to blatant pass interference and helmet to helmet, you had two fouls on one play and nothing called with a spot in the Super Bowl on the line. Reprehensible, incompetent. I mean, it was the worst championship officiating moment in pro sports history, bar none.
And the sad thing was they were great games,
They were.
competitive games, but all everybody's talking about is the officiating. And not one game, but in both games on a fantastic football weekend. That's disappointing.
With all due respect, I'm not a Patriots apologist, but Patriots dominated that game and deserved to win. Big ups to Pat Mahomes, and we'll talk about that later because I think Pat Mahomes...
We ain't talking about that later. We're going to talk about Pat Mahomes right now. You're going to talk about the kid not following up with it, man.
Look, he is the most physically talented quarterback to hit the league, certainly since Aaron Rodgers, if not in the last 20 years.
I think that they have this phrase, and I hate it. You know, you hear it in announcers say it, you start to hear coaches always say it. They always talk about arm talent. And it's an overused phrase, but not with Pat Mahomes.
Man, he can do it all.
He's got arm talent like I've never seen in recent memory. He and Aaron Rodgers. So it comes down to, is he a top 5 quarterback, Mark Gray?
Absolutely. If he's not 1, he's 1A. I mean, right now, I'm ready to put him eye to eye with Aaron Rodgers, and I don't think he blinks. He's got to get the ring. He's got to get the ring. But right now, Pat Mahomes is that dude. And speak to the people, because, you know, you're the athlete. I'm nothing more than the athletic supporter. I hear that all the time. That being said, talk about the arm angles, the way he pitches the football. He don't throw. He is a pitcher.
He's talent. I don't think he's a top 3 guy, but cause I'm still giving credit to the GOAT. You got to give it up to Brady too, which you didn't mention. Rodgers can get it done, but he's nipping on the edge. Andrew Luck had a great comeback this year as well, so he's right there. But he will be the richest of those guys because he got $200 million staring him in the face. That arm talent, though, there's certain guys that you see him once in a lifetime. Like when I played, like when I would watch Dan Marino, I said he just throws a football better than me. I can't throw a ball better than him. When you look at a guy like Mahomes, you're like, he throws a football better than the planet. Rodgers the only one there, so that's what I think is interesting about him. And I think, and were you watching that game? I was watching that game saying, I know Bill Belichick is saying, I got to go get me one of these.
Yeah, but they don't come often.
Having Brady's one thing, but having a guy like Mahomes that can beat you with his arm and his legs, I'm thinking Belichick's
All
going
right,
to get him
Patriot
one.
guy. Some of us are tired of watching that legacy of greatness. It's time to move on. But then again, we the same people that are tired of seeing Alabama and Clemson, and they ain't going nowhere
They ain't
either.
going nowhere either.
We're just gonna have to deal with it.
And, Alabama, Clemson. On this show, we don't do that.
Yeah, okay.
What do we do?
Sorry.
Let's talk
HBCU.
HBCU School of the Week, Shaw University. What's up, everybody? Now it's time for this week's HBCU School of the Week. And we're going to go down to North Carolina. The heart of downtown Raleigh is where Shaw University is located. With just over 1,500 students and a fabulous new president and Dr. Paulette Dillard, the Bears have a lot going on. Here are the 5 things you need to know about Shaw. Number 5, the Platinum Sound. That's their marching band, one of the newer bands on the HBCU landscape, but a very competitive band, and they make a great appearance every year at the Honda Battle of the Bands. Number 4, Shaw didn't have football for 24 years, so their homecoming, it's kind of different. The football homecoming is traditional, but for so many years they had a basketball homecoming that their basketball classics draw a crowd like homecoming as well. Number 3, sticking with basketball, let's give it up for the 2012 Lady Bears basketball squad. Why are they important? That's the only national championship in the history of Shaw University. Congratulations, Jock Curtis, getting it done on the hardwood. Number 2, well, some people think you could call Shaw Willie E. Gary University for their famous alumnus, attorney extraordinaire, and very, very rich, by the way, Willie Gary. Known as the giant corporation killer, Willie Gary is an alumnus of Shaw University, where he also played on the football team. And who's gonna beat Willie Gary? Well, number 1, we gotta take it up top. Nobody did gospel music like Shirley Caesar. Oh yeah, with all those Grammy Awards and the message she delivered throughout America through that wonderful voice, she's an alumnus of Shaw University, comes in at number 1 on my list. And on the bubble, not quite making it, how about SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinated Campaign, which was so instrumental to the civil rights movement, with members like Julian Bond, Kwame Ture, aka Stokely Carmichael. They made a difference in all of American lives. And that's my list about Shaw. Did I miss anything? Hit us up on any of our social media platforms. All right, hey, we'll give a shout out. First of all, before you tell me what I missed, Mark, like you always do, give a shout out to my man, head football coach Adrian Jones. Hook me up with the gear. I told you, you get me, I'll get your back too.
My man.
That being said, Mark, it's Shaw. What I miss?
I could see how the football player would miss out on Ronald Flip Murray, ex-NBA star, also took Shaw to the Division II National Final Four. I mean, that's pretty.
That's legit. That's legit. Flip Murray, he was good.
And then
good.
the first heavyweight champion to get a belt with a bachelor's degree, James Bone Crusher Smith. That's a Shaw Bear too. I gotta stand up for the Bears.
You gotta stand up for Bone Crusher Smith too, because we always talk about being an athlete on and off the field. Mm-hmm. Well, inside the ring and outside the ring, pretty quality guy with a college degree. So good one there. You caught me there. Don't get used to it.
But I'm just saying, we gotta rein you in sometime. We gotta bring you back sometime. That wild bison that's in you. Don't forget, folks. Check us out on various social media. We got you all over the place in cyberspace. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out Gimme 5 Show. Send us your flicks and comments, and make sure you share this link so we can keep doing what we do. You
spread the love. It's going to be a great season. We're going to keep this thing going all year long on Jay's Gimme 5 Show.